Today's episode is brought to you by SeatGeek, the presenting sponsor of the BS podcast and Channel 33, as well as our favorite app for buying and selling tickets for sports and music. Go to SeatGeek.com/BS to start using SeatGeek. Don't forget to download the free SeatGeek app. Enter promo code BS. SeatGeek will send you $20 once you've made your first purchase. Hey, Pats fans, go buy some of the Denver tickets this weekend. Just go on SeatGeek. Go get them. Today's episode is also brought to you by Simply Safe Home Security. They worked with me to put together a massive security arsenal for our listeners. Everything you need to stop criminals from breaking into your apartment or your house. No contracts, no commitments. And right now you can get 10% off a special post-holiday offer from Simply Safe. Guarantee yourself complete protection for your home. Go to simplysafebill.com. Save 10% on your first order. That's simplysafebill.com. Unfortunately, Sal and I didn't get complete protection from a beautiful Pittsburgh bet we made yesterday.
Oh,
actually,
man.
Let's start the podcast. God, we called that Pittsburgh game. We had such a great weekend.
Yeah.
We did such a good job. We nailed everything. And then, I don't know what happened. Pittsburgh's over midfield twice with a 1-point lead. They're on the 30. They go backwards. It's 3rd and 30 all of a sudden.
Right.
The rarely seen offensive lineman face mask. Punt the ball. Not sure why they didn't go for a field goal. It was like a 52-yarder.
Earlier, yeah, right.
Get the ball back. Driving again. The 7th-string running back fumbles. I don't blame him. Denver goes down. Manning finally puts together a good drive. Up 5. 2-point. Get the 2-point for the push.
Incredible.
Then they take the lead. Then the Steelers come back, do the Madden thing, get the field goal. We end up pushing.
That was bizarre. It was a bizarre weekend. I tweeted that I was both infuriated and delighted to be 1-1-1 on SportsCenter. But many
what'd you
things had
lose?
to
You
happen.
lost the Cards?
Well, that Arizona thing. I
Yeah.
was, but here's the thing. If you had Denver, which I had on SportsCenter, even though we bet Pittsburgh, you were lucky. You were lucky to push. I mean, you were unlucky, and then you were lucky. If you had Arizona, you were lucky to be in a position to push, and then you were so unlucky with that Hail Mary. Just unbelievable. I mean, 2nd and 20 at your 4, you're more likely to lose by 9 than you are to drive the field and score a touchdown, right?
It's one of the 5 worst gambling losses of all time.
Right.
If you had Arizona -7. Although it would have been a push. So I guess that's not one of the
Still
worst.
money
Like a
lost
push
on
is a
that
push.
crazy play.
4th and 20. They ran the same exact play the Pats ran in the Super Bowl 42, only it was to the left. But the design rollout where the guy has a chance to plant his feet and actually chuck it. And Jeff Janis.
Yeah.
Who the hell is that?
7th rounder.
101
Saginaw
yards
Valley
and 2
State,
passes in the same drive.
Incredible.
I got to say, though, I didn't feel like either play was like quote unquote lucky. It wasn't just like a heave. I hope this guy catch it.
No, I know.
Like Rodgers really, he throws it to that exact spot on the goal line, and the guys know to run to that spot and jump up and catch it. Like
Right.
there's real skill involved.
I've seen many angles on it, and it is more than luck. And it's to the point where now on a Hail Mary situation, just like you don't want to kick off to Lockett on Seattle, you don't want to throw Sherman's way or what used to be Revis's way. You should rush 0 against Rodgers in a Hail Mary situation.
Yeah.
0. He's going to elude it anyway. He's going to have just enough time to get it to where he wants. Just put your best athletes right there at the 5-yard line or in the end zone.
It did seem to solve the age-old dilemma of why don't they just blitz on a Hail Mary?
Right.
Well, you don't blitz because the guy might get away, and then
Right.
he gets to throw it, and he has a 1 in 2 chance. I'm always amazed. You would think there would be a guy like on the 5. There's got to be a better way to defend Hail Marys.
Yeah.
Put a guy like on the 3, put another guy to his left and right, then put 3 more guys on the goal line, and then 3 more guys. You basically have 9 guys all within 5 yards of each other. I don't know how you would score
it
on
probably
that.
sounds easier than to explain to just play zone on a Hail Mary because you
just
do
have
want
him
to just
stand
cover
there.
your guy. It should be enough that you just cover your guy. But
You should cover a space.
oh, for crying out loud, we were shocked. We watched that. That was the first game we watched together all year, right?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, were
No, we
watching
might
that.
have saw like a Thursday night.
We
Or
did.
something.
Oh,
I
maybe
don't know.
something. But yeah, we were.
We missed because we had the sound off. Apparently, Michaels and Collinsworth were out of their mind good in that game.
They were.
They had a great year, and the distance between them and the other teams really advanced this year, I think, more than any other year. But apparently, they were lights out. And Michaels, yet another famous game that he gets to call.
Yeah.
It was really, we'll always remember that as the 2 Hail Mary game.
Right. Right.
And I don't know if that'll translate to the Cards this next round or not. Palmer was pretty shaky.
Yeah. I wasn't impressed with, like, who was the least impressive winner this weekend? Like, I wasn't impressed really with any of the 4. Like, did anyone blow you away? Like, Carolina had the potential, and then they just fell apart in the
They've
second
done
half.
that a few times this year.
Yeah.
It seems like they take their foot off the pedal, which would be a bad. I thought Denver was the least impressive.
Denver was least impressive.
I'm going to say this.
say
I'm going to say
Arizona
this to
second?
America.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arizona second. Just because Palmer, you're reminded of the fact that the guy just hasn't been in big games.
Right.
And I think there's a huge difference between, week 13 or a Sunday night or whatever, but then actually like do or die. Just different speed, different intensity. And I don't know. I'm going to say this to America. If you like, I know it'd be fun to root against the Pats, Deflategate. I hate Belichick. I hate Brady. Good luck in Super Bowl 50 if it's Denver and Carolina, because that game will be over in about 5 minutes.
Oh, you think so?
Denver's offense against Carolina,
Right.
Do they score 10 points?
I wouldn't have thought so. No.
They're going to get demolished.
No.
I think the NFC is better than the AFC. The Pats have a chance just because of their offense. I think they could hang in, but from what we've seen at Denver this year, I don't think they could get 17 points against Carolina. It would have to be like a 10-9 type game for them to have a chance.
We spoke on the phone yesterday, and I took Denver in the beginning of the week, but then you see, all right, Antonio Brown's up playing, and then you just really think about it. When we spoke on the phone,
Yeah, we had a good conversation.
They had to crack 20 points to cover 7.
They only had 2 double-figure wins all year.
Yeah.
I was never sold on Roethlisberger being that hurt.
Right.
And then it just the word was kind of out in the street that he was okay and he had good practice on Friday. And then you saw him throw the ball. So he looked good.
Well, here's what drives me nuts. First play of the game, he heaves it 50 yards downfield. It was incomplete. We didn't see that again. Like, take another shot like that.
Yeah.
I know the defense is tough and everything, but I think they needed one of those, obiously. And
What a weird game. Didn't you feel like they controlled that whole
I thought they
game?
could have put it away 3 times.
Yeah.
They really did.
And, Denver's offense, Manning's he's throwing outs or he's throwing short passes.
Yeah.
And they were creeping up the whole game. They were basically daring him to do anything over the top, deep middle, and he won't throw it because he knows he can't. And their run game, they're just trying to get the run game, could never really get it going. And the Steelers, it was just sitting there for them for 3 quarters.
Yeah.
And their special teams were terrible. Their punter really hurt them in the first half.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't go for a couple of those field goals in high altitude.
I don't know
But
what they
that
were doing
was
there
weird.
either. I know there was a question of the wind and which time you take the wind and which you don't, but
And then their punt returner was a disaster. There was really like
was
all the
bad.
little things cost them that game. And then I thought Tomlin just did some weird stuff in that game.
who were you rooting for towards the end?
It was so funny. My dad and I were texting the entire game with no idea who we were rooting for.
Yeah.
It was like, I was like, I don't know. Denver seems super beatable.
Right. You obviously want to play home against Pittsburgh. You want a home game to close out the
Right. But then we're saying like,
yeah.
all right, if we get Pittsburgh Browns back next week and this team's scary and it seems like Pittsburgh's better than Denver.
Right.
And I don't think it matters to Pittsburgh where they play.
Right.
Whereas like the Pats, even though I think they're better than Denver, there's been a little tortured history in Denver for the Pats.
Sure.
Like that's a real thing. Tony Eason, the safety, Rulon Jones, the year after we made the Super Bowl, the Jake Plummer, Champ Bailey game when probably Brady's worst playoff game. I think 05
That was the Saturday
after the
night
third
game?
Super
I
Bowl.
remember.
Yeah.
Right. And
Driving to go ahead.
Pick six.
Terrible pass, pick 6.
remember
Really
that.
got knocked out of bounds. Should have been a fumble.
Yeah.
And then then they lost 2 years ago there. And I would say the 2 places that Brady has not been lights out are Denver and Miami. And every Pats fan secretly worried about those 2 locations, I would say.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit.
Can you remember a time going back to the Denver-Pittsburgh game where a player, I mean, it's too hard for you to, because you're so biased, you're rooting against Denver anyway. Well, when Peyton Manning gave himself up, and he for sure gave himself up.
It was incredible. He did a slide.
And threw the pass of his game, the best pass that he had all game. I felt like the country turned on him. Like I haven't felt like a country turned on a player for something that didn't involve like a cheap hit or domestic violence since that play. Like they're like, oh my God, screw this guy.
He turtled and dived.
Yeah.
And so here's the thing. This is why this was, I mean, the calls were terrible in that game, and a couple went against Denver, but for the most part, for whatever reason, Pittsburgh got boned. Mm-hmm. I thought Talib had like 3 pass interferences.
Oh, yeah.
And again, it's like, I'm not biased. I didn't know who to root for in this game. So it's not like I was like, oh, come on, Pittsburgh. Like, just, I couldn't believe Talib didn't get called for a couple of those, but
you're rooting against Nance and Sims. That's what you're rooting against.
I was.
You're rooting against that's number one for you.
Well, here's the thing: if you're announcing a Manning game, at least have the conversation of, "Hey, Phil, what can he can't do? What can and can't do at this point?
Right?
What throws can't he make? Like Phil Simms, you're a quarterback. Like, tell us.
Yeah.
Like, this is a guy who can only run certain pass plays at the point of his career. And they're like, oh, no, and all these drops. It's like Brady had 6 drops in the Saturday game. The announcers didn't talk about it for an hour.
Yeah.
But
they were bored with that game. They really were bored.
Nance
you can tell
Sims.
coming back to the fourth quarter now. It's like, okay, so we return now to the fourth quarter, and it's 13-12, whatever it was, 12-9. I think they were checked out.
A little bit. Well, we have them next week, and then for the Super Bowl, somehow the season was arranged where they announced 3 of the last 4 playoff games.
Awesome.
Thank you.
They'll get
NFL.
the last one too. They'll do.
But that dive play though. So let's say he does that dive and he's down, and then let's say Shazier comes flying in and hits him.
Oh, he gets called.
15-yard penalty,
Easily.
right? What if he runs over and touches him?
I think it's okay then.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But so they're saying he didn't give himself up. So that means Shazier could have come in and tackled him.
Yeah, I guess
they would have called a penalty on anything he did on that play.
Just about. And he was a fingertip away from being down by contact too.
Right.
So close.
But he slid.
Yeah,
it was a slide.
You
It's
see it all
over.
year.
That play's done. That was a huge play.
Very
because
big.
that also would have been a 10-yard sack, and it's like any second and anything more than 10 in that game, they're done.
Yeah.
The other thing, Perfect. It's funny how guys from teams that aren't in the game can affect the game.
Right.
If they have Brown in that game, I think they win by 7-10.
I think so.
Because like Brian dropped a couple across the middle plays that Brown catches easily. The punt returns are much different. Like that really did swing that game. I don't think Denver could have scored more than 20. Yeah,
that was it. I don't know. I have a weird feeling about Denver if they make the Super Bowl. I really think they're the 5th or 6th best team. Normally, I think the Super Bowl comes down to like, all right, maybe 2 of the top 3 or 4 are in there. But this year, if Denver makes it, like, Pittsburgh was better. Forget even about Le'Veon
Pittsburgh
Bell
was definitely
being
better.
there.
Yeah,
D'Angelo Williams in there probably puts them over the top.
Yeah, the Pats have a better team. Doesn't mean they're going to win. Right. Because the one thing about this Denver season, and it happened again, they hang around, they look terrible, they take either their own crowd out of it or the other team's crowd because it's so ugly. Their defense keeps them in it, and then something funky happens, and they keep getting big plays in the fourth quarter.
Right.
Now, is that a skill or is that just luck week after week? I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know.
That play in the fumble was a great play. The guy punched it out. They got to hand it to him.
Yeah.
Chris Harris being hurt is a bad thing for them, though.
Yeah,
like he basically said, "I'm hurt. I'm not going to be the same the rest of the playoffs."
But don't you feel Belichick just has to put together a game plan where they score 21 points?
So here's the thing with the Pats. They're gonna. And House and I went through this on Friday. They're gonna get to 27.
Yeah.
Every week, if they have their offense, they're getting to 27 points. So that means Denver has to score 28.
Right.
I don't think Denver can score 28 unless weird stuff happens.
You
get the pick 6. You get the return touchdown. You like stuff like that has to happen.
Now you had a non-existent running game against the Chiefs, but it was okay. It was all right.
Doesn't matter.
The only running play you need. It must be nice to count on that. You only need 1 yard from your running game, and it's from Brady on the goal line.
Right.
That's it. And otherwise, you need nobody to fumble in the 5 plays you're going to hand off or whatever it is.
I was wondering why they played it that way, and I actually think it's because the offensive line has had so much turmoil and change and all that stuff. I think they just went in that game and they're like, guys, just block, just pass block.
That's it.
Don't worry about run blocks. You're going to pass block every play. And that was a classic Brady game. He just ran the show, and it was, KC kept hanging around because they kept making these stupid plays right when you thought the Pats that was it. Pats were going to cut their head off. Smith gets the play where he could have gotten sacked. He's running around.
Right.
Avant made a couple insane catches. If they played that game 10 times, don't you think the Pats win by double figures and at least 8?
I think so. But
does Casey win in any scenario?
I don't know. Let's not forget Smith. He overthrew Kelsey in the end zone twice.
He did.
There are a couple weird things.
So you felt like that was the right? You think Pats were 7 points better?
I thought going to New England, something like that Chiefs have a chance to get blown out here. And they didn't. I like that they hung around.
No Houston. The announcers didn't even talk about that.
Oh right, yeah. Yeah,
he played, I think, less than 10 snaps.
Almost nothing. Yeah,
which was bad for them.
And it's a shame. I'm seeing on Twitter now Amendola suspended this week and the first 4 weeks of next year for the cheating hit. But
that was terrible. I'm not going to defend that. I actually thought.
I'm kidding, by the way. He is not suspended.
If he had been thrown out of the game, I wouldn't have been shocked.
Really?
Yeah, that was really bad. Like he could have knocked that guy out. It's that's exactly the kind of play they're trying not to
Coach
have
Belichick
anymore.
said it was legal.
I didn't like it. So that was the first time in 11 years that all 4 home teams won in round 2.
And week before, all 4 road won. It was a bizarre week, yeah.
There were so many signs for a Pittsburgh upset. I was tweeting a couple of them yesterday. There's always the weird game in round 2. And, Roethlisberger, how do we know he's that hurt? And should Antonio Brown really swing a game? Turns out he kind of did swing a game.
Yeah.
And Denver's kicker was lights out. That was the other thing that happened. I mean, he was
their
5 for 5.
McManus is their MVP, I think.
Yeah, 5 for 5 with 2 bombs.
So solid. So,
Seattle, Carolina, incredible tease cover for us.
Ridiculous. Down 31-0 at half.
And I don't love teases.
8.5.
Yeah, I don't love teases, but for me, I'll do a tease if I feel like I have a 100% chance on winning one of the 2 games. And the Pats, I was like, they're winning.
Yep.
We're not losing to KC.
Right.
So I was like, all right, I'm going to take this 6 points and put it on a game. It's like, Seattle.
Nice.
And both of us like this.
Well, because that was our toss-up game.
We're
We're like, I don't know, Carolina, Seattle. We're talking
3-point game.
Everything. Yeah, we'll get 8.5, 9. It'll be kept close. It'll come down to the last drive. And it didn't exactly work out like that. Actually, all 8 teams covered on a teaser this weekend. All 8 teams.
Really?
And almost every under.
Was that the case last weekend, too, or was there a blowout?
No, the Texans got killed.
Oh, that's right. The Texans were.
Yeah.
So you and I talked on Sunday morning, and I was saying to you, the only thing that worries me about Seattle is this is year 4 for them in the playoffs. They've played at least 2 games every year. I think they've played 10 games overall. They haven't had one of those everything goes wrong games yet.
Right.
And then that first half happens, and that was the all-time every single thing goes wrong game.
Couldn't believe it. They just got pushed around. Like Wilson didn't have a chance. The interception on Kuechly, just like he couldn't even see over his line. Everyone was getting pushed in his face immediately.
Still a bad pass, though.
Bad pass.
Wilson, I tweeted yesterday that Wilson, it was basically he had a Russell Westbrook game. He was 11 for 30 from the field. He had 12 assists, 10 rebounds, 8 turnovers. He was all over the map in that game, but still was able to keep them around. But he made some terrible plays. He took some bad sacks. Wasn't a great game. Terrible game for Pete Carroll, I thought.
That's a good team. It's a
good team.
Pete Carroll, that's tough to win.
Where'd you stand on going for it on 4th and 5 down 31-0? Instead of just kicking a field goal, getting 3 points.
I don't know. I'm not even remembering that. So what happened? They
First
didn't make
half.
it? Oh, they didn't make it, right?
They didn't get it. I was actually okay with going for it.
Hoshka went for a long field goal. Oh, you're talking
They
about
did that
before
the second time. Before that. It's 4th and 5.
Right.
And then
I can't believe the Panthers didn't catch on 4th and 2. I don't think they scored anyway, Seattle, but when they faked the punt.
I know. That was the all-time fake punt. Late in the third quarter, way down. You got to take a chance.
Right.
I was shocked when it was 31-13 to kick the PAT or go for 2. Couldn't believe they didn't go for 2. How do you not go for 2? You're making a 2-score game.
Yeah, because you're not going to score 5 times.
So hard in one half.
They needed 5 scores in the second half.
You can score 5 times and a half, but you got to get like a pick 6 or a special teams touchdown or something.
You can't get stopped twice.
But so even if you don't get it, you're down 18 instead of 17. It's still 3 scores.
Yeah,
but they had a little momentum. Would you have gone for Green Bay? Would you have gone for 2 after the Hail Mary? We never talked about this when we watched the game.
Interesting. I didn't think about it, but I was thinking about that extra point. I was like, wow, what if this doesn't go for whatever reason?
We didn't talk about it when we watched it, but
yeah, I think maybe. I mean, I don't know. It's fine. You have to figure you're going to get the ball maybe in overtime at some point. And by the way, is it a coin toss or a coin flip? If it's a coin toss, just let it go. Whatever happened there.
That could have been the biggest scandal.
Oh my God! They were asking for it
in a year since Deflategate.
And you go. I mean, Arizona was stunned, right? That would be the time to go for 2, I guess.
That was a good example of maybe momentum is overrated in football, which I've gone back and forth on.
Right.
The momentum, like you saw it in Pittsburgh, Denver. That fumble, if it felt there was a shift because Pittsburgh was going. They were either going to be up 4 or they were going to be up 8.
Yeah.
And that was like a gut punch. And that was the first time their defense let up and actually gave up some plays, I felt like.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about Andy Reid's clock management.
Should he just start apologizing for his clock management before the game?
Did you hear his
press conference? Like, let's get this out of the way now. I don't know what I'm doing with 2 minutes left or 2:40 left.
Did you hear his excuse?
What was the right thing to do? I don't know. What did he say? What did he say?
He had a whole thing. He was saying how, no, we practiced that. That's
okay.
what we do. We didn't want them to get the ball back. So what we do is we run as much clock off as we can.
Oh, man.
Then we get a stop. And then when we score again, there's no way for them to get the ball. It's like, what?
Interesting.
Why don't you run the clock the second time after you've gotten the ball back?
Interesting tactic. That said, and there were some pinball passes that are jaw-dropping. Brady, the one that Edelman ended up catching to kill the clock. That's a problem. You can't kill the clock. Like, you have to throw short passes to kill the clock. That is interesting. So that one almost could have gotten an interception, but it could have been a pick 6.
That was almost the worst moment.
Yeah.
In since the Tyreek catch.
Yeah.
Because there's a snare where if that ball bounces 5 feet to the right and that guy's got a running start, he's gone. That's it.
In Arizona, same thing. Malcolm Floyd's touchdown to go up 4. Did that put him up 4?
Yeah.
Pinballed off two different players.
I can't tell if we can. They just didn't think they needed the running game in that game, or if we can't run. It might be the latter.
You should be able to run as much as Pittsburgh does. You know, this Fitzgerald Toussaint isn't heads and shoulders above.
But we don't have that guy. It was like my dad and I were talking on Saturday night about the Chiefs have like Niall Davis, right?
Yeah.
So their running back depth chart was Jamal Charles, Spencer Ware, West, who was hurt.
Kendrick West and Al Davis, yeah.
Now Davis is a 4-stringer.
Al Davis had a great year last year.
Yeah.
Replacing.
He started on fantasy teams. Yeah. He's competent. Like, he looked good in that game. He's a kick returner. He does stuff.
Yeah.
Every team's 4-stringer is better than any running back the Pats have. Like, we just throw out Brandon Bolden every year. Mm-hmm. It's like, here he is again. We know he can't run. We've known this for 5 years. We never have the Niall Davis guy.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of guy it seems like in Denver, those little short, shifty guys.
Right.
James White is not that guy.
Right. Yeah. You don't need much from them.
Maybe we'll see the Samoan guy with all the vowels this time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
What was that, Joey Afalapa?
Yeah, he hasn't been around in like a month. I'm sure Belichick will have something.
Well, we have... any fear of Carolina not being able to close, or...
Sure. I mean...
Does that come back to haunt them at some point? We got 2 playoff games left here.
Who are you happy with? Like Arizona, we think looked poor. The whole Palmer threw some bad balls. I didn't like the way out of the 4 advancing teams, they probably looked the 3rd worst. But
bad game, or do we just not trust him now?
But they scored on 2 of their last 3 drives. Carolina didn't score the entire second half. So who's got momentum here?
Right. So Arizona, terrible in week 17, bye week. terrible for 2.5 quarters, but then actually got their mojo back a little bit.
And it's weird, they're terrible in 2.5 quarters. Didn't they score on their opening drive? Was it 7-0 or the second drive? Maybe they're up 7-0. It's weird. I thought one or two of the home teams would come out flat, and they didn't exactly come out flat. Carolina for sure didn't. Arizona scored on one of their first 2 drives. Patriots scored on one of their first 2 drives, and Denver went up 3-0. They looked good early. They looked decent early. And
they looked like they're going to be able to run the ball.
Strange week. I don't know. I'm going to keep saying that.
I've watched Carolina a lot this year. I really think they're good on D, and I think Newton's great. He's just flat out great. But their weapons are awful.
Yeah.
Like, really awful. I can't believe, like, why would you ever leave Greg Olsen uncovered, ever? What else do they have?
It's a new NFL.
There was one time, they had one play, and when Olsen was out, and they just kind of showed the people that were out there, and it was like...
Funchess and
Ed
Jr.
Ed Dixon.
Dixon. I mean, Dixon caught a big ball.
It was like, oh, they got to watch out for Ed Dixon on this drive.
Caught a huge pass to extend that drive.
But he's doing something with nothing.
Yeah.
At some point, that's gotta
for sure.
They're gonna have to play from behind at some point in the playoffs.
I thought he could take off more to help himself out. When that game was getting close late, I was like, Cam needs to run for 7 yards here. And
he doesn't do it as much
anymore.
anymore.
Do it. He won't do it.
Yeah, him and Winston have this reputation as like these scramblers, and it's actually Wilson's the one that I felt like could have done it the whole game.
Yeah.
Didn't you think? Do you know the Patriots, out of everyone on the offense, only one guy on the entire offense was drafted in the first round?
Is that right?
Steven Jackson.
Wow. They should give him the ball more, see what he's got. Give the kid a chance.
I don't know if he looked off or we can't block, but not a lot of Steven Jackson moments in that game.
No, for sure.
Might be a plan B coming up for them. What else did I have? You know what?
You want to guess what the Super Bowl line is, AFC, NFC, before we start?
Yeah, let's do that. Before we do that, though, Sal.
Yeah.
You don't know what your credit score is.
What? Where is this coming from?
I don't know what it is either. I don't know what my credit score is.
Uh-huh.
Most people don't know. Tate certainly doesn't know. That's what makes credit cards so valuable. Free credit reports, no strings attached, no credit card required. Incredibly easy to use. 50 million members using Credit Karma. They just don't show you a score and send you packing. They break things down so you can see how your actions affect your score. I wish they had gambling karma. I wish I could see what my credit score was for gambling.
They don't have that?
No, they don't have that. We should invent that. If you use too much of your credit limit, does your score go down? I don't know. If you cancel a credit card that you don't use that much, is that a bad thing? Does that hurt my score? I don't know.
Who knows?
Credit Karma, they know. They don't need a computer to see your scores, or you don't need a computer to see your scores. Credit Karma has a free mobile app. It works for Apple and Android. So here's what you do, Sal. You go to creditkarma.com/save.
Okay.
You get your free report. You writing this down? All right.
Yeah.
creditkarma.com/save. Let's talk Super Bowl odds.
All right.
Carolina is not the favorite. I was surprised by that. The New England Patriots are now your favorite at plus 190.
That's what I'm saying.
Carolina plus 210.
Mm-hmm.
That's dropped from plus 500.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona plus 320. Not a big drop off from plus 360 last week. And then Denver, just a steep little tiny drop to plus 425.
Wow.
So,
I mean, at this point, it just pays to just take your team once and then take them again. Bet them like that, right? I mean, Patriots, well, we haven't done the lines yet, but do you know what the Super Bowl line is? Take a guess.
I don't.
AFC, NFC, what do you think?
I would say NFC by 3.
NFC 1.5. Tell the Patriots are the Super Bowl favorites, but the NFC is favored. Like, if the Patriots make the Super Bowl, they'll be an underdog.
They have to do that, though, because if Denver makes the Super Bowl, they're going to be like 7-point underdogs.
Wow. I don't know.
You don't like
take
that?
the AFC here. This is weird.
A couple more things before we get to all this stuff. Tennessee hired Mike Mularkey.
Yeah.
Did you see that? And they announced it during the Pats-Chiefs game.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
It was like they tried to sneak it by everyone.
Right.
Has there ever been a more uninspiring coach hiring than Mike Mularkey?
No.
Wasn't he the guy that was running them the last 6-7 weeks?
Yeah, basically.
And they looked terrible.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Who's
Tennessee
out there?
fans. We haven't talked since LA football happened.
Oh, I know.
So
You're more excited than I am.
well, I'm excited for the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. We're gonna have Super Bowls.
55,
That'll be
you think,
cool.
in 5 years?
Yeah, I think every 5 years we'll have one.
Okay.
I'm excited to go to the Combine.
That'll be fun.
Combine will be here.
That'll be good.
We'll go to the Pro Bowl. We won't go to the Pro Bowl?
Maybe. I don't know.
I would go to the Pro Bowl.
Is
go
it in
gamble
Hawaii?
on it.
It's
No,
not
it's
in
going to be here. They'll move it to LA. That'll be fun.
I'm excited. The area could be built up nicely. It's Inglewood, right? It's kind of by my house-ish. That would be nice if it became like like downtown LA is right now. Where
That's going to
LA
happen.
Live and everything. You think so?
Yeah, I think Inglewood has a chance to be pretty cool.
Right.
A lot of stuff over there. The forums over there, and it's a location that makes sense. It's near stuff. It's near. It's not that far away from Hollywood. It's pretty far from the Valley, but nice and close to basically everything over in the Manhattan Beach, all that area.
I like everything about it, except I don't want to go to a Rams game.
I know, but you go see the Cowboys and the Rams.
People, well, yeah, once every 3 years, whatever, 4 years. But I don't want people asking me for tickets. You don't want people asking you for tickets.
I'm just going to say I don't have tickets.
You are? Say it now. Say it now.
I don't have tickets. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to do anything, and then I'm going to wait for our cousin to go in on some suite with 5 other celebrities, and then he'll never go, and we'll just get to use the tickets.
I guess so. I don't know.
That's going to happen, right?
Yeah, I know.
Me, Matt Damon, and 3 other A-listers are getting a suite that we'll never use ever.
Look,
on the 40-yard line.
The games will be late, so late afternoon, so they'll only be competing with like 2 or 3 other games. So that's good. So we wouldn't miss. I guess if we went to a couple games, we wouldn't miss too much, right? And then you could have the other games, and
we'll never go.
We're never going.
I'd much rather watch football than go to a football game.
Of course.
I'd go once if my team wasn't playing.
Right.
Can we talk about how we watched football with Romo, or we can't?
Sure. Why not?
I mean, we don't have to give away any Romo secrets, but Romo was in town.
He was in town. You came along. I'm going to make a statement here. You came along basically just to report back here on Monday how I was fawning over my idol.
No.
And how I was...
That's not
how
true at all.
I was melting in front of him. And what actually ended up happening is now he's your favorite player in the league.
I love Romo.
Great guy.
I will say this. After spending 5 hours with him, I think he's going to be the best media guy since Collinsworth when he moves into that.
Yeah.
If he can harness everything we saw on Saturday night and bring that to television, he will be the best guy since Collinsworth.
It didn't work out great for me because it ended up he was kissing Brady's ass and the Patriots' ass, and you loved that.
Oh my God!
And I said,
that's why I really loved Romo.
I know. I said, I'm not
loves
dealing
Brady.
with this. I'm not dealing with this.
It made me so happy.
And he teased us in the beginning.
What a weight
of
of my
night.
heart.
He really said, he said Brady changed the game for quarterbacks, and was like, "Well, like, what do you mean? What are you talking?"
Wait, don't tell him how.
No,
he saved it for dinner.
He taped it. He wouldn't tell us. He wouldn't tell us for hours. He's like, "I'll save it. I'll let you guys know."
It was great. It was like a cliffhanger. It was like
show. when Rocky, when Apollo kept saying, "Remember, after this, you owe me a favor."
Yeah,
what favor? That's what it was all night long. And then I was like, and then finally at dinner,
it's totally worth it.
We're like, this is not going to be worth it. You promised it way too long. This can't be worth it. And it seemed simple to say that Brady made it okay.
No, don't. Don't give it away.
Oh, I'll never say it?
No.
I shouldn't?
Don't give it away. I don't want people to know.
Okay.
I just want us to know.
Okay.
It was a compelling case. It included recreations and imitations.
It was phenomenal.
It was really one of the best 10-minute moments of any dinner I've ever had.
If it happened on YouTube, we have to book this guy and have him do it on our show.
Yeah, I'm not ruling that out.
No?
No, I think, yeah.
It was really good.
His ability to imitate other quarterbacks was incredible.
But not even putting them down. He was just not in a negative way.
No, he just could literally imitate them.
Right.
But, and I mean like their style, not like how they talk.
Right.
But yeah, no, Romo, I've actually felt bad for him listening to him talk about this season where he really felt like Dallas was one of the best teams.
Of course.
And he was like, we got screwed and I got hurt and we should be here. And I feel like we could have played with these teams. And you were just sitting there like, I saw a look in your eyes. Only Piper really brought out.
I love him. I love him more than 7 of my top 10 best friends, including you, for sure.
The so his brother-in-law is Chase Crawford.
Yeah, you love Chase.
Chase was a good guy. I like Chase Crawford.
You had a nice sidebar at dinner with Chase.
Yeah, it was good.
What were we even talking about?
Yeah, talking
Gossip
2000s TV.
Oh, yeah,
all that stuff. It was good.
He's a good guy.
Good guy. Texas guy. But yeah, it was weird because Romo's brother-in-law is also a famous person.
Right.
Oh, I'm not. All right. I won't say anything else.
Leave it at that. We had a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, he's I look forward to the bidding war for Romo because there is a 100% chance. I don't know though whether he'd be. If I were him, I don't know whether I'd want to do games or studio. I think I would want to do games.
He's got 4 years left. He's going to win a Super Bowl. Don't worry about this.
He said he has at least 4.
He's going to play Super Bowl 55 in L.A. for the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, I thought you were saying he was going to come.
Well, that would be nice too.
That's the one thing I was thinking though when he was here. And this is Gladwell and I talked about LA football for a while. And the one thing I didn't think of that I was kicking myself after. LA football, I wonder if it's going to lead to people wanting to play here like it does in basketball, where for years and years it was like, oh, people, Shaq and Dwight Howard and Kareem, all these people would try to get to LA. Right. If you're a famous person, let's say you're Aaron Rodgers, like 5 years from now, somebody drafts. It's basically Rodgers Favre reincarnated. They draft somebody in the first round, this quarterback, and he's pretty good. And then it's like, oh, this guy, it's time to play. Aaron Rodgers, we're shoving you out like we shoved out Favre. And you got like 2 years left. Yeah. Wouldn't you want to come here? Sure. LA's going to be able to cherry pick some talent, I feel like. Like Breeze. I wonder if Breeze just looks at this and go, oh, the Rams. Why not? They need a QB. LA.
I thought about this. And then I looked at the top markets in the country, the TV markets. And I was like, what? It would make sense that they had the best quarterback, at least, or one of the best quarterbacks.
It doesn't matter.
New York has Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Right.
LA has...
Well, New York has Eli Manning, too.
Nick Foles.
He's famous.
That's true. They have Eli Manning. I don't know why I forgot that. Chicago is...
You blocked that out of your mind.
Chicago is Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
Philadelphia has Sam Bradford.
Yeah.
Dallas has Tony Romo. San Francisco has Kaepernick. You're number 7, Boston. You have the best one. Atlanta has Matt Ryan. It's just weird, right?
They're all spread out. But Manning, when he didn't want to play for San Diego, forced his way to the Giants.
That's true.
Right? And then Cush and Jerry Maguire, he forced his way to the Broncos. So there's like 6 or 7 teams. I think the Niners are like that. I think Dallas. I think the Patriots now with Brady.
Detroit's a top 10
The Giants.
Market. Houston.
I'm not talking about markets, more like the quarterback prestige franchises.
Right.
Like somebody's always going to want to be the quarterback of the Cowboys and the Steelers. Right, yeah. And maybe LA is now like that. I don't think.
Raiders used to be like that.
That was the case before. Before we get to the Super Bowl lines, so last night after football, there's nothing really on last night. It was kind of a weird dead night. The Godfather epic was on.
Oh.
Did you see that?
I didn't know.
Yeah, it was on HBO.
Was it?
They ran the whole Godfather.
Oh, I'm
epic.
sorry.
I'm just stumbling around. I'm looking for shows to watch. Have you heard of Vudu? It's like some video channel. It was on my Samsung.
Really?
Yeah, it's some. They have video things. They had the show called 25. I hadn't seen it. You didn't heard this?
25? No.
Yeah. So Andy Reid, apparently he's been filming this show during the off seasons, and it's from the producers of 24. It's 25. It's so he gets hired by CT. Remember they had Jack Bauer?
Yeah.
And every show is like what 24 was, where it's like it's 60 minutes.
Right.
But every episode when the clock gets screwed up, and right when it's going to be like the last 5 minutes of the show ends.
That's crazy.
And it never has an ending because Andy Reid, who's playing himself, he's playing a CT. He keeps screwing up the clock, and it never ends on time. So the whole time, then you just have to wait to the next show because the ending from the last show didn't happen. But it all works out. It's just the only problem is it's 25,
right?
So they had to add a fifth. Even though it's a full day, they actually had to add
another
25th hour.
Oh,
yeah, because to make up all the time that Andy screwed up the
and
other
he's on
episodes.
the headset with Chloe trying to...
Yeah. He's like, we got to get there. The terrorists are going to be there at 12 o'clock.
I love
But then he shows up at like 12:06.
Oh, he can't tell time.
And a lot of things blow up.
Yeah,
A lot of things. Like a lot of times but it's never his fault because he's
That's
he's taking his
great.
time. It's
I like
really
that.
good.
That's
Kiefer
great.
Sutherland's in it. He
Is he?
produces
He makes
it.
it in there?
He's in like 4 things.
good.
Yeah, Chloe's in it. There's a couple
tries
of
to
your
help with the
favorites.
clock. He can't.
Tony Almeida's in it.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
like
he
all
gets
of
blown up because Andy. It was 12 o'clock. He's supposed to be there. The
them. He
building
didn't get
club.
there.
It wasn't his fault though. There was traffic.
I heard about this.
You heard about it?
Actually,
Yeah,
now
so
I'm here because I
25.
heard it's on Voodoo.
Voodoo. Yeah, VUDU.
Yeah,
Voodoo.
because Voodoo they have a companion show. This is
What?
a weird thing. Yeah, this is strange. It's with Aaron Rodgers dating Mary J. Blige in the mid 1940s.
What a weird couple.
Now it's strange because they're like on the outskirts of Milwaukee, and the interracial dating is not
Right.
yet accepted.
Yeah.
That's bad. And I mean, there's just evil people, but what they put these two through, and then on top of that, Mary J. Blige is a Nazi sympathizer.
Oh no.
Yeah. So it gets weird. It takes some turns. You don't even know who you're rooting for anymore. You want them to fall in love to be able to keep it.
Right.
And it's called Heil Mary. She's a Nazi sympathizer, you see, and she's with Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if it's going to do
Mary
well.
J. Blige.
I don't know.
Very, very risky role for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
She's
why
really
she'd
made a
take it.
commitment to drama.
Right. This Voodoo is really taking off.
Big year for Voodoo.
So stupid.
All right. Well, so actually, you know what? Before we do this, let's go. Game of Thrones is coming. We're 3 months away. Miraculously, you don't need cable or satellite to watch HBO anymore. Just download the HBO Now app and start your free 1-month trial. They might not have 25, and they might not have Hail Mary.
Why don't they take a chance on our shows?
But they have some great stuff, including last night they showed the Godfather epic, which is the Godfather chronologically.
Yeah.
You and I have seen the Godfather
course.
combined 7 million times. They had scenes in there I'd never seen.
Really?
Yeah, there's extra scenes in the Godfather
Wow.
epic. Yeah, bunch of them. Like the when Talia Shire, Connie, when she gets when her husband really beats her up, and that leads to Sonny going over there.
Yeah.
They had a whole extra thing in there that led to the fight.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's like coming out of the shower, and she's yelling right before the Bafangul scene.
Right.
But it was all this stuff. I was like, what's that doing in there? They had a scene with Michael right after his wife blows up. He's in the hospital. They're treating him. They tell.
Is that right?
Yeah, I was stunned. So
Do they highlight it or just like
No, it's just
surprises
in
you?
there.
Wow.
It's like 7 hours.
That's great.
So anyway, HBO Now, the Godfather epic. If you're a fan of the Godfather, I would
Awesome.
recommend going through there. And who knows? At some point down the road, this podcast might be on HBO Now. You never know. You just never know with stuff. Do yourself a favor. Download the HBO Now app today. All right, let's go to the lines.
Sunday, 3 p.m. Your Patriots travel to Denver.
Sunday, 3 p.m.
Brady
12
Manning.
o'clock West Coast time.
Brady Manning, 17. Yep.
This
But it's
does
not
this
Brady
count
Manning.
as a Brady Manning?
No.
This is kind of like when like Magic Johnson and Larry Bird filming a McDonald's commercial in like
Yeah.
93. Doesn't
Not
have the
counting it?
same kind of.
Okay.
How about my dad being here for this?
Oh, he is going to be here.
My dad is coming this weekend.
Oh, good. Is that
Kind of like, made the trip a while ago, but kind of, maybe they'll be in the AFC title game, but deep down kind of hoping for it.
Is
So
that
now-
typically good luck for you? I mean, I guess.
Yes,
Yeah.
typically. Doesn't mean
Right.
this time around. I had the Pats by 3.
Okay. You came a lot closer than I did. I favored Denver by 1.
I
and it
saw
was
that.
Stupid.
I was
It
surprised.
stupid. It's Pats by 3.5 is what it is right now.
Wow.
Yeah. And I did see 4 when it first came out. And then it went down to 3. Now it's up to 3.5. But here's why I had Denver favored. I thought about it a lot. And I printed these out. In the last 35 years, in the AFC Championship game, the road team has been favored how many times?
One time Pats Colts that I can remember.
I don't even have that one. Pats Colt. They
Colts.
were on
I think the Colts were favored in New England one of those times, right? The AFC title.
no.
The Colts were favored at some point.
New England
against
at
us.
Indy in 07. Indy was a favorite. It's happened 3 times in the last
Okay, let's hear it.
35 years. 92-93, Buffalo at Miami. Buffalo was a 2-point favorite. They killed them like 29.
Oh, I bet on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I was an early turner on Dan Marino in playoff games.
Right.
'Cause he just couldn't move.
93, yeah. That might have been the Bills' best team. I don't know. All right.
Yeah, that was a good team.
97-98, Denver at Pittsburgh.
Oh, Cordell Stewart.
Denver, Cordell Stewart against Owens.
Another one I bet on. I love betting against Cordell
Denver,
Stewart.
2.5-point favorite. They won 24-20.
I remember it well.
Third time New England at Pittsburgh. New England -3.
Watch that in at Corolla's bar.
Right. Patriots.
Damashek stormed out in the first half.
Still
What a
upset
coward.
about it. Still upset.
He stormed out. Didn't want any part of it. Just ran.
41.
You ran, Damashek. What? What's that?
He's going to hear about this.
No, he
41,
was
41-27 Patriots.
Remember
won.
that he knew. He got out. It was the right move.
Yeah,
I would have
no.
done the exact
He was
same
smart.
thing.
He was smart.
He was smart.
But so 3 times in what did I say, 34 years, something, that the road team has been favored. They covered every time.
I see. There was a Colts Pats AFC title
I'm looking
game.
at this. You sure it was a title game?
2003 or 4, where they were favored, and then the line shifted toward the Pats.
New
at the
England
end.
was home -3. New England won 24-14.
Maybe it was the round 2 game.
Yeah, I don't think it was a championship.
The
you
game
go.
that we beat them 20-3, they were favored in that game. Mm-hmm. And it was snowing and Brucey
Right.
got the game winning.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, I don't
so
think
that was round 2.
I think
not
that was a
three.
round 2.
I
game.
screwed up.
So 3 times in however many years.
What about the NFC? There's probably more for NFC.
The NFC?
right?
There's only 4. I mean, it's a rare thing. It's weird. San Francisco at Atlanta, 2013. San Francisco's 3.5-point favorite. They won 28-24. Remember that? That was
What year is that?
13. So that was when they played the Ravens in the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, okay. We had San Francisco.
2011, Green Bay at Chicago. Green Bay by 3.5. They win 21-14. Chicago had, what's his name? A quarterback. Can't remember.
Oh, that's Cutler got hurt.
Played a good game. Why can't I
Caleb
remember
Haney
this?
came
Yeah,
in.
that's it.
Cutler got hurt.
Yep. Philly in 2009, 3.5-point favorite at Arizona. Arizona won.
Kurt Warner.
Yep.
God puppies in Pakistan.
Yep. And then 97-98, Green Bay at San Francisco. Green Bay wins 23-10. They were favored by 2.5. This was the year they played Denver in the Super Bowl.
They lost to Denver in the
Right.
Super Bowl. I think I lost that one.
I think I did too.
I think I like San Francisco. It wasn't that was like the last kind of part of the Rice era.
Right. Is T.O. there?
So the road favorites just win, is what you're telling us. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, a couple things with this. One is that if the Pats just finish that game in Denver, this game's in New England and they're favored by 7.5.
Yeah.
That was frustrating.
Right.
If Cincinnati doesn't lose that Monday night game to Houston 10-6, Cincy's the 2 seed or the 1 seed.
Wow. Right.
That was what every year there's 3 dumb regular season games that flip all kinds of stuff. That one, Houston beating Cincy, has never been explained. All right. Pats -3.
3.5. Yeah.
Denver. That'll go to 3.
They're going to go back down?
Yeah, the people will talk themselves into Denver's D at some point.
Man, I don't know.
Who are you leaning toward?
I'm leaning towards the Patriots, but I wish you could get someone who could get 45 yards rushing. That's not Tom Brady.
Well, you can't run on Denver anyway. Can you?
We should watch this together because Hench, big Patriots fan, your dad, you, me, Corolla has money on the Patriots.
I don't want to watch any games with Corolla. What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
He's the worst luck ever.
Oh, I see.
May as well bring a litter of black cats in the game.
All right. You want to go on to the second game?
Yeah, I'm emotionally ready for the second game.
6:40 p.m. Eastern. 3:40 Pacific. Arizona at Carolina.
I went Carolina by 4, and you did too.
We both said 4.
And I have no idea if...
So you're going to win because you won the first game.
Yeah, I beat you.
It's Carolina by 3, which it was 3 over Seattle, 2. Arizona's gotten Vegas' respect all year. But I really did think I thought they'd push this to 4.
I think Carolina's really good.
Yeah.
That first half they played against Seattle was one of the all-time ass kicks. Mm-hmm. You know, they let up at the end of the second quarter. They had the ball. It was like a 3rd and 6. They're right around mid. It was after the missed field goal. Mm-hmm. They were in midfield. They had like less than a minute. They had time to actually go get more points. They just did the basic draw into the middle of the line.
Yeah.
And it was like, if they had just gone for it there, I think they could have been up like 34-0. It was just, they just let up from that moment on.
If they win
but it can't be forgotten how awesome they were in the first 25 minutes. Like, they were incredible.
If they win 31-17, are they a 3.5 or 4 point favorite? I almost feel like that last touchdown made everyone think, wow, they can't hold a lead. We can't make this more than a field goal.
And Olsen, how long was Olsen out? That hurt them too. Olsen was out for
drives.
a couple series at least.
I don't know about Arians. That really bummed me out, how he iced his own kicker, giving Green Bay another chance at the ball. He threw on 2nd down.
Arians was all
and
over
then ran
that.
on 3rd down, and he goes to the 2-minute warning, and then his kicker has to kick to put him up 7.
The
that
worst
was a
thing
mess.
The worst thing about that throw on 2nd down was it was such a high risk play that you know, it's either goes out of bounds or the guy just if you're gonna throw, like do a little screen pass or a little quick screen to the receiver or something.
Right.
Not that play.
Yeah.
Arians, although that's who he is though. He's a freaking riverboat gambler.
You can't question him. You can't question him.
I don't know why they're throwing. I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
Carolina by 3. Man, it's tough to take.
Tough.
Though we're gonna have to go against our Pats Arizona Super Bowl bet. It looks like
A little bit. I mean, you have to be a little nervous. Seattle going deep in the second half. Arizona's got better receivers that could stretch the field than Seattle does. Those safeties didn't show me a lot there for Carolina.
No, and it did seem like. Although I guess you could say their defense was on the field for so long.
They were
in the
on
second
long.
half.
Yeah, they lost the desire. So that's it. I'm sad. We're down to 2-3 games now.
Should I go get my son for a Royal Rumble preview?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Should I? Okay. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Yeah. All right. Royal Rumble is this Sunday, and for the first time ever, Roman Reigns. They're really trying to take the title from him. Vince McMahon will do this sometimes. He just becomes a mean person.
Yeah.
That's my son. Roman Reigns has to defend his title in the Royal Rumble against 29 other guys.
Doesn't seem fair, Ben, does it?
Ben,
No,
that's not.
It doesn't. It really isn't.
You were
Because
really.
Sheamus sucks.
Can you not sound like a maniac? You hate Sheamus. When Sheamus won the title, you actually started crying.
I did.
Why do you hate Sheamus so much? Try to be nice. Don't swear.
Because he turned on.
Oh yeah, he turned on who?
He turned on the Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns. Yeah, he came out and cheap shot at him. Ben likes Roman Reigns now.
Why do you like him so much, man?
Because the Shield broke up. Now I like him. Because my sister likes him.
Oh.
Oh, there you go.
Well, there's not a lot of heroes left for him because John Cena got hurt. Daniel Bryan got hurt.
Randy Orton.
All the people
Coming
you
back,
like are
maybe?
hurt, basically. Yeah.
Why are they get?
Can you stop saying that? People think I'm a bad dad if you keep
They
saying
know.
that.
They knew already.
Oh, they knew. You're right. They probably did.
Yeah.
So what's your prediction? Does Roman Reigns lose the title?
Yes, he's going to lose it against Sheamus. Sheamus and Roman Reigns are going to be the last one. Vince McMahon's going to come out and throw out Roman Reigns, and that's going to be it.
Wow.
No Brock Lesnar?
Oh, might be Brock Lesnar, too.
So this is the one where they ring the bell. There's 2 guys start, and then every
2 minutes, somebody comes out.
1 minute.
Every 1 minute.
Every 1 minute.
Every 1 minute.
Okay, so where they put him in the order, like a lot of it depends on where they put him, right?
So they might put him like second.
They put him out there second, and then it's a miraculous thing where he fights his way till the end.
Right. That's never happened before.
That
in the
hasn't happened,
Royal
I don't
Rumble,
think.
other than the 9 times it's happened. But are we any surprises? Could we see Hulk Hogan?
I think so. Or Ric Flair.
If we see Ric Flair, that would be trouble.
Interesting.
It's going to be, woo! Not so much.
Ben's wearing a Ric Flair's type robe right now.
He's wearing
Dressed
underwear.
up for the podcast.
Ben's on a big Macho Man Randy Savage run right now.
He is?
Yeah, and the YouTube clips. You saw the Jealous Eyes clip.
Yeah.
You got jealous eyes.
My son Jack is all over Yokozuna and Bret Hart and their feud and everything. And we found out.
On YouTube?
Oh, you mean the chubby guy?
Yeah, the real chubby fight. We found out that Yokozuna, not buried in Japan, buried in Palos Verdes, California, not far from where I live. Jack wants to go visit him.
The most stunning thing about this story is that Yokozuna's dead. I don't think I knew this.
Oh, you knew that, really?
I guess I should have assumed a giant fat sumo
there's
wrestler.
like 3 fat guys.
He's buried in Palos Verdes.
Palos Verdes, yeah.
So does Jack he likes Yokozuna because
He likes
just
all
likes big
the fat
people?
dead wrestlers. Like I had to
I
buy
like
him
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy V. I had to get him Vader, and I guess he's not dead yet. But there's obviously Andre.
Give it time.
I don't know. There's some all of them. I have them all.
Andre.
It's ridiculous.
Vader's not dead yet.
I don't think he is, but like Big Boss
Interesting.
Man is.
Yeah.
And there's
Tugboat. Is Tugboat dead?
Right. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So you think Roman Reigns loses the title, and then what's the WrestleMania main event?
I think it might be The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Sheamus and Triple H.
Ooh.
A tag team.
And they'd have to have a title involved there, right?
Yeah, because I hope the New Day loses the titles.
Oh
Wow.
yeah. To the Usos.
Yeah, and then the Usos lose the title to, what's their names? Oh, Triple H and Sheamus.
Oh,
Then
so it'd be a
The Rock.
Wow.
main event tag team match. I don't know.
I like it.
There's an Intercontinental match in Royal Rumble too, right? Kevin Owens versus Dean Ambrose. We both think Dean Ambrose should be a bad guy. I think he could be a Piper-like bad guy
They've
if they
toyed
really
with turning
wanted.
on him in the late, great Roddy
Could
Piper.
turn on Roman Reigns.
Wait, what did Roddy Piper?
Well, he actually said to me, he's like, Dean Ambrose reminds me a lot of myself.
Piper
He
said
actually
that.
loved Ambrose, yeah.
So maybe they're just saving it for the perfect time.
Maybe they are.
Sal was friends with Roddy Piper.
Could be good.
Pretty
knew
impressive.
that.
All right, so Royal Rumble. So this could be a sad day for us if the Patriots lose and then Roman Reigns loses the title. It could be the flag could be at half mast at the
stinks.
Simmons house. All right.
What would you rather have? Would you rather have the Patriots lose and Roman Reigns win, or the Patriots win and Roman Reigns lose?
The Patriots lose and Roman Reigns.
Oh, he's already. He's LA Rams. He's ready.
I feel the same
Yeah.
way.
Just remember, I could always kick you out. You don't have to live here.
Oh.
All right, you have to go. I have to finish the podcast.
45.
All right, that's a good idea. That'll
It's a
be great.
loser leaves podcast match. You lost, man.
Incredible Royal Rumble preview for my
love it.
my 8-year-old son. What do you have to plug?
Jimmy Kimmel Live tonight, Sir Elton John performing. Whitney Cummings there. I never figured them for a couple. Later in the week, Zach Galifianakis, Aubrey Plaza, Weezer, Casey Affleck, Zach Efron, Lauren Cohan, Ben Harper, and the Innocent Criminals. Hit me up at the Cousin Sal on Twitter. Sports Center 1-1-1 last week. Terrible. Yes, the teaser one. Everything else was weird. And that's it. Catch it Thursday night, Friday morning.
All right, and check out the Channel 33 podcast, which you could subscribe to on iTunes, Stitcher, or SoundCloud, because we have some good stuff coming up there, including The Watch with Andy Greenwald and Chris Ryan, which just got a shout out in EW as one of their 10 favorite things.
Nice.
Something I was proud of those guys, though. Thanks to Credit Karma for sponsoring today's BS podcast. Free credit reports, no strings attached, no credit card required. Just go to creditkarma.com/save. Get your free report. Credit Karma breaks things down so you can see how your actions affect your credit score. You should know this. creditkarma.com/save. Thanks to HBO. You don't need cable or satellite to watch HBO anymore. Just download the HBO Now app and start your free 1-month trial today. You can even watch that Godfather epic that we talked about. So you just go on there.
Let's do
You
it.
can see the weird Godfather scenes you've never seen. Thanks to SeatGeek, the presenting sponsor of the BS Podcast and Channel 33. Subscribe to both podcasts on iTunes, Stitcher, or SoundCloud. Because next week, do we do a full podcast? Oh, yeah, we do a full podcast next week.
We
All right.
we pick the Super Bowl line and recap.
Yeah. All right.
And then the week after.
I don't think we do one the next week. The week between the two.
Right.
Yeah.
That's our big
All
problem.
right. So you're back next Monday.
I'll see you next Monday.
All right.
Good job by you.
Good job, you.
We about this bitch. Anytime y'all want to see me again, rewind this track right here, close your eyes, and picture me rolling.